Barban's convincing win in Portugal sees him reduce Black Friday's lead in the championship to just 2 points. Aurak's remains in third place, 30 points behind Barban's, with Mars in fourth, 5 points further back, just a single point ahead of Berkey in fifth place. In the Constructors, another strong race from McLaren sees them jump from fourth to second, 37 points behind leaders Ferrari. Williams remain in third, 8 points back, with Red Bull losing 2 places to stand fourth, 12 points behind Williams. VCarb remain fifth, 6 points further back. The return of the double-header format saw the grid for Zandvoort set using one-shot qualifying. This produced a very tight grid, particularly at the head of the field. Barban's took P1, just 400s ahead of Berkey. Zyros lined up in P3, 600s further back, with Aurak's completing the second row, half a tenth behind.
And we are racing here in Zandvoort. It's a decent start from Berkey. Barban's getting off the grid quite well, though. Here we go down towards turn number 1. Aurak's trying to put some pressure for P3 here as we make our way through the first corner. Battles happening further down. The House of Luca making some positions on the 2 Williams drivers, but up at the front, single file, they make their way through the first 3 corners. They've all held position up at the front of the field. Shuriken already making some moves through the field. His teammate disconnected on the race start, so not a great start for him. Looks like Shuriken might have picked up some damage, as has Luca and Josh as well, so not ideal start for them. Barban's up at the front, still holding onto his lead though as we make our way through the middle sector. Berkey, Zyros, Aurak wins Black Fridays. Mars, Shan, all holding positions here on this race start. Nobody going for any overtakes in the opening lap, really up at the front of the field. They're just making their way through. Battles to come later on in the race. DRS opens up for the McLaren driver as he gains on the back of the VCarb, and here we go for the overtake. Berkey onto the grass for a brief moment. Here comes Zyros to the inside as well to take second place here in this race. Aurak's looking for a move potentially on Berkey as well, although Berkey trying to hang it around the outside. Almost for a second looked for the move on Zyros as well as we now make our way through turn number 3 through the bank corner. Down towards the first braking zone. Here comes Aurak's. Berkey has to defend for a brief moment. No move coming there, but Barban's makes a mistake. He goes deep, and through goes Zyros. Through goes Berkey as well into second place. Barban's losing out on that second place position, but still trying to hang it around the outside. Holds on. Berkey onto the second place, keeps that position. Aurak's applying pressure as well. Another mistake there, and Black Fridays threw up into fourth as they now make the run down towards turn 7. And now here we go down the start-finish straight once again. Barban's still within that DRS, but the cars behind getting closer and closer. And we could be seeing some overtakes here down towards turn 1. Berkey gets close. Black Friday's getting close, and Aurak's close as well. As we go 3 wide in towards the first corner, Black Friday's tucked up right on the inside. Can he try and make 2 in 1 corner? Barban still hangs it around the outside and holds onto that position. And they come out in exactly the same order as they went in. But Barban's still getting more and more under pressure. He's going to have to start to do something here. Otherwise, he could be facing some position losses in just a few moments. Aurak's got close for a move there on Black Friday as well, but had to tuck back in behind as they make the run up the hill. Here we go in towards turn number 11. Barban's getting closer and closer and closer, but small mistake there. Looks like he went a bit too deep. The gap now 0.3 of a second as we make our way in towards the final corner. He will, of course, have the DRS on the run towards the start-finish line. Is he going to get close enough here as they make their way through the final corner up towards the line? Who's going to pick up the win here in Zandvoort? Gaining and gaining and gaining across the line. Zyros just about hangs on. What was the gap there? Very, very close one. 52,000th of a second as they come across the line. Aurak comes home in third. Another podium for the Red Bull driver. Black Fridays manages to recover back to P4. Wins in P5. Berkey 6th. Shan 7th. Mars 8th. Luca coming home now through the final corner in P9. Shuriken's just set the fastest lap of the race as well. And Dowsy will come home. No, Luca's run out of fuel. Just about on the line. Did Dowsy? No, he didn't quite get him. 19,000th of a second. Looks like a very, very close call with the fuel there for Luca. It's going to be another P11 for Rodcast. Sir gets close. Just not quite close enough though.
In the early laps, the leaders traded places in their attempt to use DRS to build a gap to the cars behind. Berkey was the first driver to pit on lap 10, changing his soft tyres for mediums in an attempt at an undercut. Barban's and Zyros pitted 2 laps later, seeing both Aurak's and Berkey pass them, the undercut working well in this instance. Black Fridays was the last of the leaders to pit, and he rejoined in P5, still in contact with the lead cars. Zyros took the lead from Barban's at the start of the final lap and held it until the end to take the win, just half a tenth ahead of the McLaren driver. Orax took the final podium position, a further half a second behind. With the grid for the second race of the evening in Miami set by reverse championship order, Jax lined up in pole position alongside Shuriken. Josh was in P3, with Rob Kaz lining up in P4. The championship contenders Orax, Barbants and Black Fridays lined up in 15th to 17th places.
And we are racing. It's a really decent start there from Shuriken getting off the grid. Shan hasn't had the greatest of launches, though. He's dropped all the way down to the back of the field in towards turn one. A dive from there from Josh, trying to look to the inside there of the Shuriken on the medium tyres there for the Alpine driver. Jack getting a really great start. Luca up, making his way through. We've got a crash there down to the back of the field as well. We've got a VSC deployed here on lap number one. Rob Kaz making contact, and I think Berkey getting involved in an incident there as well. They're dropping down the order. Quite a few drivers with damage. Sert, Black Fridays, Josh, Orax, Rob Kaz and Berkey all with some damage here. And there we go green here into the final corner and up the inside for Takubi, looking to try and already make this P4. A really great start for the Red Bull driver, and he makes the move stick at the corner where he spun all the way back in Season 3 as he took the race lead here. This time around he makes a much better move to come to the close of lap number 1. He's up to P4 already and could be on to try and secure his first race win of the season. Brad is down the inside on Dr. Fook to pick up 7th place as well. Black Friday's finding his way through up into 11th place past Kai, and Luca up to 2nd past Shuriken. Takubi puts the pressure on as well. In towards the heart of the first sector we go. Contact being made in Shuriken, losing the rear end of his car. Here comes Winston Cyrus as well to swoop around the outside as we come towards the back straight here. Takubi already up to 3rd, Shuriken in 4th, Zyros in 5th, Wins in 6th place as we run down the back straight towards turn number 11 we go. Overtakes being made here. We go 3 wide for a brief moment. We're going to be Zyros through to 4th place. Shuriken under pressure from Wins as well as they make their way through. Still holding that inside line is the Alpine driver. Now switches to the outside through turn number 12. And Zyros is through up to 4th place. We could be having a battle between Takubi and Zyros here in Miami to try and see him come out on top. Mars is in 8th place. Here we come. Takubi gaining and gaining. Zyros to the outside. Gets himself past the Haas driver. Is Takubi going to get close enough down this DRS straight? Doesn't quite look like it, but he'll settle in behind through this Mickey Mouse section and try and find a way through in just a few moments. Shuriken and Sert battling away as well. The Alpine goes a bit deep. That could allow Sert a chance around the outside here. Through into towards the chicane. They're going to go wheel to wheel here. Up the hill, contact being made, and Shuriken losing the car, getting spun around. Another car further back as well, losing some positions, getting spun around. The 2 McLarens now behind Shuriken, going to be looking to try and find their way past the Alpine, who seems to be struggling a little bit here in these opening few laps. Up at the front move, Takubi through into the race lead. Here comes Zyros as well to the outside. Hits the wall for a brief moment there, can't find his way through in the end. Zyros not quite close enough just yet, trying to stick right on the back of that Alpine, but Jack doing quite well to stick with Takubi as well, although now through this first sector dropping a little bit further back, and Zyros gaining and gaining and gaining. Could he get a good exit now here as we make our way on towards the first of many DRS races? He's going to get the move done straight away through up ahead of Jack, and now with some DRS to help as well, should be able to close in on the back of Takubi. Here we go. Jack still right on the back. So is Luca as we gain and gain towards turn number 11. Could be seeing some more moves. Martin's through to 6th place past Sertdogan. Jack and Luca battling away here through this tricky section. Oh, contact there. Jack hits the inside wall. Wins making contact as well as Mars picked up some damage. Looks like a lot of drivers coming to blows here. We have a safety car deployed here in Miami. Wins, Sert, Mars, Orax, Jack, all with damage here through the chicane. And that is big costly mistakes there. The Alpine driver got caught up on the apex, and all the drivers behind didn't have an opportunity to try and avoid here. We have the safety car deployed, and lots of drivers going to be diving into the pit lane here at the end of lap number 4. We make our way down towards turn number 1. DRS has been enabled. Mars is getting closer to Sert as well. Could be looking for an overtake. Not this time around. There's Shuriken fighting away with Orax, trying to find his way through and holding on to that P7 position for the time being. Although making a bit of a mistake. And we've got another car losing positions. Barbans and Takubi, I think, have made some contact. And now Barbans is missing some wing as well. Lots of damage being picked up by all of these drivers. I mean, this is chaotic stuff here as it stands. Mars and Sert, I think the only drivers, and Takubi's retired. Takubi I think picked up some damage. Barman's retiring as well. Lots of drivers retiring here from this race with the damage they've picked up. So many drivers running with front wing damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers with damage here. What chaos are we seeing here, AD?
Yeah, Barbans was actually in the wall there. I'm not sure exactly who he had contact with, but on the wall down the back straight, Barbans missing a couple of wheels off his wagon.
And when does Luca make the jump? The safety car is back into the pit lane now, and it looks like the Haas driver's got a pretty decent jump there over Zyros behind in second place. Mars getting a pretty decent getaway as well. Auras caught napping a little bit as we make the run down towards turn at number 1. The Williams driver already all over the back of the Ferrari as we make our way through the first few corners. Sert putting pressure as well on Dr. Fug in towards turn 1 on those new medium tyres, trying to find his way through. Gain a few points positions. Shuriken also under pressure here from Downsy as they make their way through turn number 3 towards turn number 4. Could be a move coming here from the Aston Martin driver. Looks to the inside, can't quite find his way through there, but might try and put some pressure on as they continue through this first sector. Downsy to the inside now as they head onto the back straight. Lots of position swapping here. Sert is through ahead of Dr. Fug. Downsy through ahead of Shuriken. Shan making his way through the field as well as we now run down towards turn number 11. Mars is gaining on Zyros for what would be the net race lead here tonight. Aurax as well, going to be right in on this battle. Can Mars and Aurax navigate their way past the damage Ferrari? Black Friday's fighting with Bradders here, and Sert as well. Sert trying to squeeze his way through, but this is Berkey fighting in towards the chicane. Could be a big race here for Black Fridays. Barbans currently leads the championship by 4 points. If Black Fridays can score decent points here tonight, he could try and extend that margin heading into the final race, the title decider in Japan. Going to be a tense battle. Here we go in towards turn number 17. Aurax to the inside of Mars. Both of them on the hard compound tyres. Aurax taking that P3 position, but they still run wheel to wheel through the final corner up towards the line, and Mars trying to put the pressure on once again. DRS is now enabled. No DRS just yet though, because we haven't gone through a detection point, but Mars retakes the P3 position. Aurax tries to stick it around the outside. Mars finds the grip on the inside line, finds his way back through up into P3. Zyros getting closer to the back of Luca as well. Could be sizing up a move down the DRS straight that will be coming up very, very soon. Josh losing a couple positions, drops down to P15. Here we go though in towards the braking zone, and Aurax diving to the inside. Luca going deep, and that's going to give the Red Bull that P3 position. Gets himself through. Black Friday's putting pressure on as well to try and find his way through down the start finish straight towards turn number 1. The Ferrari driver gaining and pulling ahead as well. Luca now down to P5, but he's got a bit of a gap to the next cars, the 2 V cars, Berkey and Sert 6th and 7th. Then Bradders fighting away as well through turn number 2 and 3, trying to find his way around the outside. Downsy applying pressure as well, now tries to squeeze his way up the inside. Now switches to the outside for turn 4. Does he have the grip to swoop it around, trying to hold on to this position as they make their way through? Downsy up to 8th position. Great move from the Aston Martin reservist, and puts himself up a couple further points in the driver's standings. Downsy, oh! Black Fridays, what's happened to our as it stands, our championship leader? He's picked up some damage there in the Mickey Mouse section. A big mistake for him, and what looks like potentially a championship defining race could be a championship defining mistake. He loses his front wing here. Zyros now threw up into second, slots himself between the 2 undamaged cars. He's missing his entire right hand side of the front wing. He could be in big trouble here. Sert, Shannon, Downsy now going to be chasing him down. What is the damage like? What is the pace like? He's into the pit lane. It's Black Fridays, and that's going to be dropping him right outside the points. A 10-second penalty to go with it as well, and this will really blow the championship up. We could be looking at 0 points scored for both our top 2 in the championship here in this race in Miami. Aurax from Zyros from Mars, then Sert, Shan and Downsy. This is now the fight for P4 here between these drivers. But now the penultimate lap of the race, Luca is past Dr. Fug up into P11. The gap 3.2 seconds. He needs to get within 3 seconds of Shuriken to get into those top 10 positions. Berkey is past Bradders as well through the first few corners. Gets himself up into P8 now on his charge. Can he try and get the other Mercedes as well? They continue to battle here through the first sector. Berkey with the inside line, though, finds his way through. He holds on to that P8 position, and he continues on holding onto that. Brad sticks it back up the inside though as they make their way through here. Who gets the DRS? I think it'll be Berkey, so that will help him out on his charge once again. Up at the front, Zyros still holding second place for the time being. Berkey hasn't pit yet. That is a really good point. Berkey is going to have to drop into the pit lane at the end of this lap, otherwise he will get disqualified. So this fight is really for nothing. Luca is definitely into the points positions. Our top three drivers towards the final corner. Is it close enough for a lunge from the Ferrari, who looks to the outside? Orax defends into the final corner. They get close to contact. Mars looking for the switch back out to the final corner as well as we run towards the line. It's going to be Orax who wins in Miami. Mars and Zyros wheel to wheel across the line. Shan through the final corner. Picks up P4, but Sir trying to attack back. Could try and snatch that back to the line as well. No, he can't. Just missing out. Downsy comes home in a career best 6th place finish. 15,000th of a second between Zyros and Mars as they come across the line there, but it's a second victory of the season for Orax, picking up the victory here in Miami. And that will close his margin now as well, and that fight for P3 should extend his battle up at the front. Wins comes home in P7, Brad is in P8, Luca comes home in P9, and Shuriken, the first points of the season, he converts that front row to a points-paying finish. P10 points on the board for the Alpine team.
The reverse grid gave the championship leading drivers a lot of work to do in Miami. After a VSC was deployed early on the opening lap, Jax managed the return to green flag racing well, initially opening up a lead over the chasing cars. Takubi was soon on his tail though and took the lead on lap 3. Barbant was up in P10 by this point, but early damage for championship contender Black Fridays saw him make an early pit stop. The deployment of a full safety car on lap 4 saw a number of drivers choosing to stop, with Barbant now up to P7. Luca led Shuriken and Berkey away for the restart on lap 7, but a mistake from Shuriken saw him drop down the order. Contact between Barbant and Takubi saw both pick up damage, leading to Barbant retiring in the wall and bringing out another safety car. Luca chose not to change his tyres, leading the field away again on lap 11. The lead 4 drivers pulled away from the rest of the field, with Black Fridays taking the lead on lap 14, only to make a mistake and gain damage, eventually leading to a retirement in the pits. Orax took the race win 3/10 ahead of Zyros. Mars took another podium just 15 thousandths behind. A strong finish for Barbant in the Netherlands saw him retake the lead in the Drivers' Championship from Black Fridays. Neither driver finished in Miami, meaning that moving into the last race of the season, Barbant leads by just 4 points. Orax's 2 podiums see him close the gap in third, now just 8 points behind the championship leader. Zyros currently lies 4th, 29 points behind Orax, with Mars just 5 points further back in 5th. Berkey is 6th, 16 points behind Zyros, meaning he is still in the fight for 4th place. In the Constructors, Ferrari extend their lead at the head of the field to 63 points, making them Season 6 Constructors champions with 1 race still to go. Strong finishes for the Williams drivers in the Round 5 doubleheader sees them jump to 2nd place. Orax's 2 podiums move Red Bull up to 3rd, 9 points behind, while McLaren are just 2 points back in 4th place.